Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our BioReigns overview. We're going to have 30 minutes of product information with some Q&A and follow that with 30 minutes of why BioReigns is, in my opinion, one of the most fabulous opportunities out there and why I love it. Also with Q&A. Unless anybody objects, if we do go over a little bit on product, I will stay late for business, even if Jessica and Aaron can't. Even though I might not be able to answer everything, I can at least get your questions and get them answered in a timely fashion. So without further ado, I want to introduce Jessica and Aaron Mathis in Arizona, who are joining us bright and early their time to do this call for you guys. I joke, although I'm really not joking, I'm serious, that Jessica is the upline I want to be when I grow up. I'm honestly not, I wasn't taught to be a leader in network marketing, really. I've been in network marketing since I was a teenager, but I didn't have good mentors. In fact, I was probably shown all the things not to do, which may be good. I learned that first. And I shouldn't say I wasn't taught. I've had some great mentors that kind of actually threw me in the deep end of the pool, made me present at conferences with no notice, that sort of thing. So I am honored and so happy to have all of you that are already on this journey with me. And also thrilled to have Jessica as our upline leader. So without further ado, Jessica and Aaron, take it away.
Well, I will let Aaron start, but thank you so much for all that. I appreciate it. I'm very passionate about this industry and what it's done for us and our family. We've been doing this since 2006, and we've both been stay-at-home parents since, I would say, end of 2007 going into 2008. And we have also been taught a lot of things the wrong way first, right? And so, it's just been a blessing. I feel that network marketing is something that everybody should be a part of because of what it can do for other people. And I just know in our life, all the blessings it's given us. And I think that we always continue to find that perfect, you always want to find, not perfect company, but perfect place where the products actually are doing something for people. So many times in this industry, I've seen people come up with this amazing comp plan, and then they just go find a product to throw in there. So there was no thought process behind that product. And I really feel it's about changing people's lives internally as well as every other aspect. So I love the fact that BioReigns actually started well before the network marketing side with an actual product that was changing people's lives. And then we just built a model around it to take out to the masses. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to be here. But Aaron's forte is definitely products. I am more on the numbers, the details and all those things. So I'm going to have Aaron go over the products and kind of share his journey here with BioReigns.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks, Jessica. Thank you, Lisa, for having me. It's been an interesting journey. Jessica kind of mentioned the network marketing side of this. We got into this industry 16 years ago. I've been in the, and I apologize for the box that's stuffed behind me. I don't know where that came from. Sorry, distractions. I've been in the health and fitness realm for about 20 years. And, one of the things for me has always been finding good supplements. And quite honestly, through most of the 20 years, I've really struggled with standing behind good supplement products. Now, there's not to say that there aren't great products out there. It's just, especially in this world within network marketing, finding something that is that really stands out, that stands alone. And most of what you probably know is that a lot of these health and wellness products, while they tout different technologies or different, why they're different from everybody else, when you break them down, It's usually just this little shift here or there, which really equates to nothing more than, new packaging, a pretty new bow on the same thing. And that for me has been my quest to really find something that's different. And when I came here, when I sat down with Brian Reed, sat in his office the day that I met him for about maybe 4 or 5 hours, to hear about and understand the technology, I was at the end of the day, I was really excited, just because we weren't talking about changing a product or introducing a product. We were talking about introducing a technology that changes everything, that changes any product that it's wrapped around. So for me, that's massive. I mean, honestly, I would tell you that that's one of the, if not the biggest shift in the supplement industry in decades, because honestly, the biggest problem with supplements, which, I mean, quite honestly, ignorance is bliss. Most people don't even understand. They just pay their money and take what they're told to take, without realizing that most people are just wasting their money day in and day out. Because we all know, I mean, anybody who's educated in supplementation knows that the average absorption rate for supplements that are out there on the shelf today, the average rate is about 5 to 10%. It can get even worse for supplements that are that have low absorption rates. There are most of nature's miracles are what are considered hydrophobic compounds, which means that they don't play well with water. Well, being that our bodies are primarily made up of water, you have to have these things. These things have to play well with water to absorb well. So, when we're talking about products, and I'll talk you through some of these products here shortly, but when we're talking about products like CBD, like curcumin, like Gymnema, we'll go through the gambit of different things here, but understanding that those are all hydrophobic compounds. They don't like to play into water. They don't like to be absorbed into water. So seeing this compound, or seeing this technology and understanding what it does, changed everything for me. And of course, if you don't know, it started with our chemist's story of him battling to save his own father's life several years ago, and his studies with curcumin. Well, let's talk about that just for a minute, so that I can kind of take you through a frame of reference of how powerful this technology is. Because what he did was, he started trying to figure out how to get essentially about a kilo's worth of active in curcumin into his father's body at a time. So I apologize for the dog in the background. What we've got here is, is these, again, low absorption products. So curcumin, curcumin is widely used in the East. Widely used in India. As a matter of fact, curcumin is introduced from the day children are born. As a matter of fact, it's already in their bodies because it's taken by the mother during the entire pregnancy. And they take it throughout their life. Therefore, it assimilates to the body. Because again, these are products that take a long time to get active in the blood and in the body to be effective. So Mike, our chemist, had to figure out a way, or was trying to figure out a way to get the effective rate into his father very quickly, because as we know, curcumin, CBD, they're great at reducing inflammation in the body, and inflammation is, it is the precursor to basically all disease. So what he did was, first he took the active of a kilo of curcumin and he condensed it down into a pill size. And quite honestly, unfortunately, it didn't work, because again, it still just wouldn't absorb. So he went back into his lab and he started working, and he found this technology. And what he did was he went and he looked at what modern medicine was doing, and he discovered a medical grade sugar that has a hydrophobic outer layer and a hydrophilic inner layer. Hydrophilic meaning plays amazingly with water, loves water, just absorbs into water and becomes part of water. So this very thin hydrophobic outer shell that can break down fairly quickly, but stays long enough to get things where they need to go. So what he did was he took this technology, broke it down, took the active into active molecules out of curcumin at the time, bonded it to the hydrophilic layer within that medical grade sugar. And what he created was, and then he added it into sterile water. And what he did was he was actually injecting his father with this, but in the process of doing that, realized that this could also be used orally as well. So right there, we created a window, an opening to introduce a new product basically into the world, which is a product that delivers very quick and very effectively these hydrophobic products. So whereas he actually best described it to me just a few weeks ago when I was out at the office, whereas again, you're ingesting most of these normal supplements and again, digesting. So they have to go through the gut and then they have to be processed by the liver, which that in itself is a big deal because most people are taking products to reduce inflammation in the body. And unfortunately, because of the taxing on the liver and the gut that a lot of these supplements cause, some of these supplements actually cause more inflammation in the body than they actually reduce. Because we all know that, if you're only absorbing 5 to 10%, where the rest of it is just coming out as waste, but the body is trying to do its job. But what we have here with this technology is a technology that actually just absorbs into the body the second that it gets into the body. So the second that these products, whether we're talking about our CBD or our hydrate and the components within that, our keto, as soon as they get in your mouth, they start absorbing through the aquaporin channels in your body, because not only do we have pores in our skin, we have pores within our body itself, and they just start to travel to where they need to go. And actually, what we've found in the lab is that by the time that it's even passed through the esophagus, whatever you're taking is passed through the esophagus, it's already 90% absorbed. So now, whereas all these products out in the world that you've been taking for years, you've got this low absorption, and you're actually maybe causing potentially more harm than good. Now you've got, and you're paying $100 for a product, you're getting $5 to $10 worth. Now we've got a product that is being instantly absorbed, and you're spending $100 and you're getting $90 to $100 worth. For me, that's everything, because that's what I've been looking for. And when I sat in that office that day, I knew that this is where I wanted to be, and this is what I wanted to build. So so let's dive into some of these products. I'm not sure if I could screen share or not. Let me just pop something up here.
You should be able to. I take it back. I'm making you co-host now. Jessica was co-host, but you weren't. Now you're good.
No problem. All right.
Can
So
I
I'll just
say real quick though, Aaron? Just
Yeah,
to
you bet.
interject. As most of you know, I'm a detox practitioner, but I'll mention that for people that are listening later. And one thing we learned is that Roundup creates leaky gut. And as you may know, if you eat organic, they didn't use Roundup. However, there's Roundup in our rain. So we're all exposed to things like that compromise our digestive system. So what's already a problem that we can't absorb nutrients in our gut is not getting better. It's getting worse, even for those of us that are doing the right thing. So that's why I'm so thrilled for this technology. And prior to this, I was using, what's it called? The other thing that makes oil soluble things. kind of detergent. I can never think of this word. Never mind, I'll add it later because I do want you to explain the difference if you know. I'm gonna go to my refrigerator and look at the last of the last supplement there and I'll be back, but go ahead, Aaron.
Got it. Well, and I love that you brought that up because I actually saw a story just the other day. Beautiful story. Just really tragedy averted. And again, no medical claims being made here, but this was saw the story of a gal who basically had been given an expiration date for the simple reason that her body just stopped absorbing nutrients at all. And she was literally to the point where she couldn't walk. She was preparing her family for her to not be there anymore when she was introduced to some of these products. And it's been 3 months and her doctor doesn't understand what's happened, but he knows that her body she's getting healthy again. She's actually just went on a vacation with her family where she was up and walking and spending time with them and enjoying them. And they've pulled the expiration date because these products are absorbing, whereas all the other things that they were trying to give her just simply would not. So it was it was a pretty amazing story.
I remember now. I didn't take my Limitless this morning. Now I know not to miss my Limitless. Liposomal. If you could explain what makes this different, because that was my go-to before I knew about this.
Sure. Well, and there's lots of, at the end of the day, liposomal technology, any kind of micronized, what that means is it's micronized oils. So what they're doing is, even though they talk about it being water soluble, all they're really doing is they're just reducing down to a microscopic size oil. But it's still, so even though it looks better in water, it's still at the end of the day using an oil carrier. What we've done is we've eliminated the oil completely. If you test, as a matter of fact, it's been tested. We got into a big debate with a company a few years ago, and they actually said, there's no way this could be done. There's got to be oil. You're hiding the oil. No, there's absolutely zero oil in this product. And the thing is, that's important because oil slows down absorption. So, when people say that it's water soluble, is it going to up the absorption rate because it's broken down better? For sure. But at the end of the day, is it still hindering the absorption into your body because it's still encased in an oil carrier? Absolutely. And unfortunately, oil in the body creates inflammation. So, whereas all these CBD oils that you see out in the marketplace are CBD oils, which, CBD reduce inflammation. It's an oil carrier. So you're fighting inflammation. You're creating inflammation to reduce inflammation, which is just, it's contradictory. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
And also those have to still be absorbed in the gut, which is
yes. Yeah.
compromised in most all of us. Yeah.
It has to pass through the gut and into the liver. Yeah. So let me grab some screen share here. Okay, so right there, first thing, keto hydrate. This is what we call our reset pack. We've had a huge success with this since we brought these two products to market. Actually, keto came first. Keto's actually getting a new name here just to give people more of a sense of what it actually does for the body. Keto is a little bit too pigeonholed into one lifestyle, if you will, which this is a great product for anybody in any lifestyle, because keto, what it does is it actually, what it's best at is stabilizing blood sugar in the body. That's due to two really powerful products, one being called Gymnema leaf extract, and the other, which you probably know better, is known as berberine. What both of these products do is they actually help lower or stabilize blood sugar. And I say or because I've actually seen some people with low blood sugar that actually it just balances it, it triggers it a little bit up, which is fantastic, which I don't know the mechanisms by which that happened. I can't give you the medical explanation about that, but it's interesting to see. But what this does is it rights the ship. Gymnema leaf extract is one of those things, just like curcumin, that is used from day one in the East. In the East, it's known as, its nickname is the sugar destroyer, because while it doesn't actually destroy sugar, what it does is it creates a protective wall inside the gut that keeps the body from absorbing sugars. So therefore, it works fantastic for people who are maybe, using a little too much or taking in a little too much sugar, which in this country and now all around the world is pretty much all of us, because just about everything we put in our mouth has sugars in it, unfortunately, and we just get too much of it. So this helps balance that out. It helps get our blood sugar levels down. And again, not to make any claims, but we have had several type 2 diabetics who are using this product who have dramatically lowered their blood sugar levels, and some of them even to the point where type 2 diabetics and pre-diabetics have dropped below the levels to where they're not even shown as diabetic anymore. So it's, again, I'm not making any claims around that. I'm just telling you results that I've been shown myself, and I'm very proud to share with people. This plays with hydrate because, again, hydration is such a huge thing for the body. Our bodies are primarily water, and unfortunately, we don't get enough hydration. Most of us don't. And this is a great product because what we use is we use a salt out of the Great Salt Lake, which is one of the most nutrient dense, mineral dense salts on the face of the earth, which just really help just bring water into the body. What we've seen in most of our tests is this would be the equal to, if you drink 1 glass of this, and most people just mix it how they want to, but if you were to put this in one 12-ounce glass, 8-ounce, 12-ounce glass, and then just drink it, you would basically get more than the hydration equivalent of drinking 3 times that in water. So that's because it's actually helping draw that water into the body instead of just passing it through the body, which is what usually happens, especially with the quality of the water that we're drinking out there. I mean, people drinking bottled water, it's even worse because all the minerals and all the nutrients have been stripped out of that water. You buy all these expensive designer waters, and most of that water is dead. So what we're actually doing is reintroducing those good minerals. But we've also thrown in a couple of extras in there because, again, this is so powerful for, hydration is so powerful for the body and for your longevity and your health and your youth. So we've got a couple of extra products in there that are really going to help with the skin. We have CoQ10 in there, which is great for not only cardiovascular health, but it actually, there's several studies on it that, again, just promote youth and longevity, but then also resveratrol, which resveratrol, if you don't remember, just a few years ago, resveratrol was touted as the next fountain of youth. And we've taken both of these compounds and bonded them to our rapid CT delivery system. So again, taking these 2 compounds that are semi-absorbable and made them hyper-absorbable. And we are absolutely seeing the results of that. But taking these 2 compounds now and putting them together, and I apologize, I'm running long and I've only got to the first 2 products. This is kind of where I geek out. I apologize. What we've seen is we've created this reset. And what it is it's a modified 60-hour fast. And what you do there is basically, it's just like it sounds. It's a modified fast. So what you're doing is, most people are doing this. They're setting themselves up. They're eating their last meal of the day. They're taking their first keto scoop of keto, either combining it with or just following it up with drinking hydrate until they go to bed in the evening. what that keto is going to do is it's going to kick off the process of helping clear the gut of those carbohydrates, at which point your body will shift into a ketogenic state where it's actually producing ketones, as well as burning the excess fat in the body. Because once your body's done burning sugars, the sugars that you introduce to it, it goes to the next available source. And this product, because of the MCT in it, helps kick off the production of ketones. So once the body shifts from sugar burning to ketone production, your body goes into this state called ketosis. If anybody knows anything about ketosis, whether you love it or hate it, you know that it burns fat on your body, it burns excess body fat, and it just switches that process. So this is fantastic. But what we're also doing here is we're combining that metabolic shift, because most people fast to not only give the body a chance to heal and rest, but we're also switching into this from sugar burning to fat burning mode very quickly. And then, again, we want you to have, so the keto has about 77 calories. It's all fat-based calories. So we're introducing those fats. We're allowing the body to use fat as fuel, giving it a little bit to work with on its own, and then using the body for the rest. What we've seen here is just, off the chart results. I've seen people go anywhere from a 5-pound loss to a 17-pound loss in 60 hours, just doing this. And it's very simple. Some people wouldn't think a 60-hour fast is simple, but the results are fantastic. But the great thing is that unlike most things where you would see that all that weight, because most of that weight during a normal fast is, a lot of it is water. What we're seeing here is probably a good 80-90% of the weight loss. And again, I don't want to focus on just weight loss, because this is so much more about really resetting the metabolism, resetting the body as a whole. But we know where people focus these days. So seeing that weight loss actually stick, they're not immediately throwing those 8 or 10 pounds back on two or 3 days later. As a matter of fact, Jessica has an amazing story. She's done this a couple times, and every time she's done it, she sustains right where she's at. And I've heard great stories and talked to people who are doing this every 2 weeks or every month, and they're just inching their way down. So we're attacking, not only helping people create better, work better from the inside, but we're also helping people attack one of the biggest things that they have problems with, which is weight loss. And they're seeing great results with it, and they're not having to completely change their lifestyle, because most people are going back to exactly the way they were living afterwards. Now, the real secret sauce here, if you want to know, and I'm sure you do, is that what we really want people to do is to continue to just take that keto at the end of each day, right after their last meal or right before they're going to bed, and taking that hydrate and just continuing on with that day in and day out after their reset is done. And what that's going to continue to do is it's going to help your body at night, instead of store fat, burn fat. And we've seen, again, great results. People just continue to drop weight after that. And it's just, I can't say enough about it. I've already said too much about it.
Well, I want to say even more real quick.
Sure.
One thing that I think really helps people wrap their head around ketosis is that we're kind of like a hybrid car. Your hybrid car it can only burn one source or use one source of fuel at a time, and you can go back and forth. And we're born in ketosis. And again, from my mentor, it's best to not always be in ketosis, but to at least cycle in and out of ketosis. And, either on a seasonal basis, a monthly basis, a weekly basis. I can help anybody put together their schedule if they would like help with that. But I do have a question. I had great results with 2 resets. I'm continuing to lose a little weight even off of the reset. But I'd like to know, I know it says during like the maintenance part, if you're not doing a reset, to do 1 or 2 ketos a day. Can you do 3?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's, I mean, you can, I mean, there's not going to be any, point of overdose of keto.
Okay.
The reason why we strongly recommend 2. Now you can go to 1. And again, if you were going to go to 1, my personal opinion would be take that in the evening so that you're not sleeping on sugar. But yeah, the reason why we generally recommend 2 is because of the half-life of Gymnema. The half-life of Gymnema is about 13 hours. So if you take that twice a day, you're really covering your entire 24-hour day.
Yeah. All right, then I'll do 2.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not going to hurt you to take more, but and yeah, I agree. You and I, we could probably have a conversation about keto all day. And yeah. I agree with the cycling in and out. It's exactly what early man did, because or early person, I should say, because that's how they had to live. When they were the hunter gatherer, they were collecting fruits and berries and things that were in season during that time. And then, they weren't as fast as the animals. We aren't as fast as animals. So you had to wait for them to bed down during the colder seasons. And that's when they would live on fats and proteins. So very natural in our human body. As we've evolved as human beings, or devolved, if you want to say that, we've just, all these foods are now manufactured and we've lost that way. But that's exactly how our bodies were actually designed to live. We just kind of got lost along the path.
Let me ask you this, because most of the people on the call are doing the reset and they're all new. So I would rather open it up to questions now, just on the reset, if anybody has any, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
So if anybody has a question, you can unmute yourself and just say your name. That way, if 2 people try at the same time, whichever name I hear first, I'll call on you to ask your question. And we'll give you a second to unmute yourselves.
This is Sandy. I've got a question, and Lisa's done an amazing job trying to educate me on how to actually start the reset program. So what I'm hearing you say, Erin, and thank you, you're extremely knowledgeable. So it's a pleasure to listen to you. But am I hearing that you should take the hydrate and the keto regardless, at least once or twice a day, whether you go into that reset or not? And I am a type 2 diabetic, so any guidance would be great.
Yeah, well, and first of all, thank you for your kind words, because honestly, it's early. We were driving all day yesterday. I feel kind of scattered, to be honest with you. So I appreciate the kind words. My answer to you is, whether you're doing the reset or not, I absolutely recommend you use these products every day. And yes, if you can use keto twice a day, I highly recommend it. I'm sure you don't know mine and Jessica's story. I am so passionate about this product and around the ketogenic lifestyle, because we lost a daughter to type 1 diabetes. So, and I didn't understand the power of the ketogenic diet until unfortunately right about the time we lost her. So yeah, this is really mission based for me. And again, I've personally worked with a couple of pre-diabetics and type 2 diabetics. And again, I can't make any medical claims and tell you that, this is the answer for you. But what I will tell you is the products or the components within that product. If you read the studies on go to the NIH's website, which is National Institute of Health, where they do all the studies on Gymnema, on berberine. It tells you everything you need to know. By using those products, you're going to put yourself on the path to the direction that I know that you're looking to go. And then also, something that I always forget to mention, look up catastatin peptide when you're on there as well, because that's in that product too. That peptide actually is shown to help with blood pressure. And largely that is done over time because catastatin is good at breaking up the plaque in the blood vessels, which is to me amazing, because that's something that, especially as we get older, can become a problem for a lot of us. So, so yeah, we could have a great conversation. And you know what, if you want to have a conversation offline, I'd be happy to talk to you even more about it.
So Aaron, would you say that a good recommendation would be if you've attained your optimal weight and you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic, then 1 dose a day would probably be adequate? If you're still wanting to lose weight or you're struggling with blood sugar, then 2 a day would be recommended.
Yeah, once a day is probably a great maintenance. And again, I will, high blood pressure runs in my family. So for me, it's one of those things where, there's no question. This is something that I'll use and take for the rest of my life. But yeah, I think that just, again, with the foods that we eat, even when we try and eat perfect, it's just, I don't have to tell anybody here. I'm sure you all know that, most of what we think we're getting either less than or too much of something we don't even know is there. So I think that it's just a great protective measure for anybody and everybody, whether it's just, for maintenance or just for proper health and longevity, to use, 1 scoop of that a day is fantastic, unless you're in that looking to lose weight or looking to drastically reduce that blood sugar, at which point you definitely want to use 2.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions about the reset? Going once, going twice. Has anybody completed the reset that would like to quickly share their results? I lost 4.4 pounds the first reset. Then I went on a maintenance dose and decided to eat a little, off of my usual regimen and had lots more carbs than I usually have to see what would happen. And I neither gained nor lost any weight, which I was thrilled with. I wanted to see if I would rebound. I did another reset, lost about 3.3 or 4 pounds. And then I went on a low fat, low carb, moderate protein diet, which with this product, I've tried to do this regimen 3 or 4 times. I could never stick to it. But with the product, I have no cravings. Some days I get up and I'm like, I'm just going to eat when I get hungry. And next thing I know, it's 4 or 5 o'clock and I haven't eaten. So I've been able to very easily calorie restrict without depriving myself. So now I think I'm at about 11 pounds I've lost in about 3.5 weeks. So I'm thrilled. So Tammy, I see you unmuted. Do you want to share?
Well, it's not even sharing. Actually, Aaron, I just wanted to say hello. I actually knew you from the Nerium days. I was on Ron and Leslie's team. So I just actually realized you guys were you guys. So that's too funny.
Well, you probably didn't recognize me without hair. So
no, exactly. And then I looked at, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jessica and Aaron. So hello, and happy to be here. And yes. Okay. So Lisa, I just did my first reset. And so my question is this, I did it last week. I was bad. I didn't take measurements, but I'm going to tell you in 2 days, wow, I was very amazed with how I felt. And it was more in the inches and just how my body felt. So I definitely saw a difference. So what I wanted to ask you, Aaron, is I did it last week. I started on Sunday evening. I finished on Wednesday morning, and I ended up, I haven't done the keto, like I haven't taken the keto and everything since. So my question is, if I wanted to do another reset this coming week, and let's say I wanted to do it Wednesday through Friday, is it too soon? Can you do it? Can I do it like a week later? And then I'll actually stick to the maintenance, because I didn't realize that I was supposed to be doing maintenance in between. So I haven't been taking the product.
Yeah, and the answer is absolutely yes. You could basically do this as often as you're comfortable. I mean, just from a pure fasting standpoint, I mean, there's you can. I mean, I know people who fasted a week and even longer, 10 days. So the question of can you do this? Absolutely. It's with your comfort level. It's with with your ambition to take that on again. For some people, this is very difficult. For some people, you know what? Once they get through the first one, it's like, wow, that was actually fairly easy. I think I can do another one. And I've actually talked to several people now who've done this either weekly or bi-weekly for several weeks in a row. And again, they're just loving the results, and they're loving not only the results from a body standpoint, but from how they're feeling. Again, fasting, and again, I don't want to promote the keto lifestyle too much, but I mean, there is a clarity that comes with ketones being introduced to the brain, because just like Lisa mentioned, your body can only live off 2 fuel sources. Your brain can only function on 2 fuel sources, one of them being sugar and the other one being ketones. So when your body or your brain is taking ketones in, it's like, when you go all day without eating just because you forgot. And you go through that kind of state of crazy euphoria, but then all of a sudden everything becomes laser clear. That's ketones. That's what ketones are doing. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, long answer to your short question. Yeah, if you're comfortable doing it, a week later, do it. I absolutely say go for it.
Okay,
And
so
let me
then,
ask, oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, and then, so quick question. So in the future, let's say I do this again this week and I do the reset. I was doing 3 of each during the reset days. So 3 keto and 3 hydrate. I mixed them together. And so I had 3 drinks throughout the day. That seemed to be fine. Would you recommend more or less?
That's completely up to you. If that works for you, I would say run with that. If you need more, I probably wouldn't go higher on the keto.
Okay.
But the hydrate, if you feel like you need more, I keep hydrate pretty much in my water all day long, just because of the benefits of it. So yeah, I mean, I would probably stay at 3 with the keto, but if you want to up the hydrate, I mean, we recommend anywhere from 2 to 5 scoops of hydrate a day while you're doing that reset.
Okay, and then I guess my last question would be this. So as far as product, to make sure I have enough, if I'm on an auto ship for those 2 products and I'm doing a reset, let's say once a week for the next 4 weeks, because I'm at a place I want to lose like 15 pounds, Lisa knows that. So if I'm at that place where I want to lose 15 and I do the reset for like 4 weeks and then I just want to be on maintenance, how much product would I need to do the 3 per day and then end up doing like, I'm not diabetic, so just doing the 1 at night to keep me on it? What would and are you saying on the maintenance I need keto and hydrate together at 1 time a day on the maintenance?
Can I add a couple thoughts first, Aaron?
Yeah, please.
When you do your second reset, if you've been eating ketogenically in between, once your body's in ketosis, you don't need 3 doses to put your body back into ketosis. So that's one thing. You could do the reset then with 2. Whether that's your situation or not, Tammy, I wanted to interject that for other people. If you do a reset, you continue to eat ketogenically, you're going to stay in ketosis. So then the next reset is just to accelerate things a little bit more. Also, if you're on maintenance, which is not reset time, I'll say, and you're doing 1 a day, you could also, let's say you go and you splurge at a birthday party, you could do a dose of keto after that to not override, but to help, balance out all that sugar you just ate. So I wanted to put that in before I forgot. And then what would you add to that, Aaron?
First of all, absolutely correct. And yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you were doing a ketogenic diet, the necessity to have 3 scoops a day would not be there. I would say that the only reason to do that would to have that additional, whatever, I think it's 72 calories just to get that little fuel bump. But if you don't miss it, you don't need it. So Yeah, and then as far as I will, Jessica could tell you, math is not my forte, so I'll let her do the numbers and have her let you know exactly how much you'd need, because math is not my strong suit.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
also,
I just
Tammy, I
want
don't-
to, yeah, I just want to make sure like you have enough product on hand. If I'm doing the maintenance between and I'm doing one drink at night, is that drink keto and hydrate, or is it just keto?
It would be just keto. This is what I would do, because if I'm on the reset, I only do 2 scoops of keto a day. And then the hydrate, it's so sweet to me. I'm not a sweets person, so I don't use a full scoop. I probably use, like a fourth, but I drink hydrate all day long. So I'm probably only doing like maybe 1 to 2 scoops at the most of hydrate a day. So if you were going to do the reset and then the maintenance, I would say do 2 packages. That's what I would do. I would do 2 and see where that goes. I did keto in the morning and then keto at night. And then I found that after I did the reset, just doing keto at night was enough. I mean, we actually ran out of keto before we went to Vegas this last week. And I noticed a difference right away. But while I was just taking it at night, and I made small changes, not like significant changes. I lost 4 pounds just with it at night. So, that's what I would suggest. I would say 2 sets and see where you go. You might not even be using all that hydrate, and you might not be using all the keto.
And also,
Okay.
Tammy, I don't think you're going to need 4 resets. You'll need 2 or 3.
Okay.
I
And
think you're going to end up losing weight between.
Yeah.
So you're going to find
Okay.
that.
And of course, the more ketogenically you eat, the more you'll lose. So there's that factor. But also, so when you're in ketosis, you do use up a lot of water. So that is why the hydrate's important if you're either on a ketogenic diet and or doing a reset and or using the keto for maintenance.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jessica and Aaron, and great to see you guys.
Absolutely.
I have what might seem like a silly question, but I'm so new to all of this. So if you do the hydrate twice a day, do you drink it all like in 30 minutes, or can you drink it over several hours? And it sounds like the hydrate you can drink all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not clear on how quickly you need to drink either one of them.
Yeah, so the keto you would want to get in your system. So when you take the keto, and again, the keto is just this white flavorless powder, so it's not, it wouldn't be anything you want to savor or sip on. So you just want to get the keto in and just mix it in whatever you're going to use. Coffee, tea. If you're gonna add those to your reset, anyways, which is up to you. But the hydrate, yes. Hydrate can be drank throughout the day. It doesn't have to be something that quote unquote has to be slammed. So get the keto in your body, but the hydrate you can just use throughout the day.
And I just want to ask now, because I did say this was going to be a product and business call, but I kind of thought this may happen. There's so much great information. Does anybody object to us just continuing with product and then doing another call for the business? I'll give you a couple seconds or minutes even to unmute while I tell you how I take my keto. And fortunately or unfortunately, I bought an espresso machine a few months back, and it brought out the inner Italian in me, because now I have to have 2 espressos a day, no matter what. It's like the highlights of my day. And I mixed the keto in it. It replaced the dairy I was using in my coffee. It was like the only place I use milk, which I use grass-fed organic whipping cream. So that was a few, grams of fat there. So I use this instead, and I love it.
Yeah, that's the keto really is like almost like a powdered creamer.
Yeah.
But it's not the chemical creamer that you would normally put in there. It's actually something
Exactly.
different.
Yeah, and I got a little milk frother at Bed Bath and Beyond, but IKEA, if you have access, has them for $1.99. And it whips it up to a little froth on top of my espresso. And now I drink my espresso in about 2 minutes flat, so I get the keto in. But if you're a coffee sipper, then I do like getting that keto in really quickly. I want it to go burn up whatever sugar I may have ingested. And I don't eat any sugar. I'm eating ketogenically, so I shouldn't say sugar, but even, leafy greens have some carbs. So I'm trying to keep that really, really low while I'm still in weight loss mode. All right, does anybody object to us sticking with product for the rest of the call? Okay. And Jessica, you're off the hook. I'm going to schedule another call for that, honey.
All right, no worries.
All right, any more questions or should we proceed with other products? All right, Aaron.
Fantastic. So I'll try and move a little quicker through some of these. So we have 2 different proteins in 5 different flavors. So we've got our GH protein and our GH almond protein. Now you'll notice the GH at the beginning of both of those, and I'll cover that in just a second, but just understand that first I wanted to say, as far as our almond protein, of course, we wanted a good vegan protein. Again, we wanted something that is going to just take well in the body, and most vegan proteins are either going to be a pea protein or a rice protein. And actually, those don't settle well with a lot of people. It can create a lot of issues. Almond is not a widely used protein, specifically because of the fact that it has to be, it takes a lot of almonds to really get that protein out of them. But we actually partnered with a almond farm, a very historical, more than 100-year-old almond farm up in Northern California, who started producing this for us. And the results have been off. That people love this protein. And I will tell you that between the two, and I'm a whey protein guy, but from a flavor profile, the almond protein is amazing. And again, it's a great source of protein. We actually, even though you would think almond, you'd think it's going to have a higher fat content. Again, we've grabbed the protein out of this, so it's still a low-fat protein product, which again, depending on what you're looking for, what your goals are, you might have to add a little fat to that. But the GH component is something very special in what we have, and what we've actually added, and again, this is only because of our technology that we could do this, is we've added a peptide called ipamorelin. And what ipamorelin does in the body, and epimorelin in any other fashion outside of what we offer would have to be injected into you, because of the nature of most peptides in general. Peptides are very fragile, and this peptide, like most, as soon as it hits saliva in your mouth, that saliva would just tear it apart. But because of our technology creating that protective barrier, it can actually get where it needs to go before it opens up and starts to break down. And what ipamorelin does is it does not create, it is not a synthetic growth hormone, but what it does is it actually hits the pituitary and tells the pituitary to release growth hormone. So let's have that conversation real quick. It's another thing that I'm really passionate about, because I'm just about to hit 50, and I want to stay young for as long as I can. I got an 18-year-old in the other room, and I want to be around for her. Growth hormone is known as the master hormone to the body. We hear a lot about other hormones, testosterone, progesterone, but growth hormone is the master hormone. It's responsible for all kinds of things in the body, like skin elasticity, skin health, brain health, bone health. sexual function, all kinds of things in the body. And the thing is, once we pass the age of about 25, there's a slow decline in growth hormone production in the body. And once we hit about 40, it just starts to fall off a cliff. What keeps us young is growth hormone production. What keeps us feeling, I mean, it is the master hormone for a reason, but we don't want to, most people don't want to introduce those synthetics into the body because it comes with its own, list of side effects that we don't want. But if we can get the body to start doing what it was designed to do originally, it just forgot to do because we're getting older, and it says, yeah, you know what, they're getting older, they don't need it anymore. But what this is doing is it's triggering the body to start creating it again, which is going to help with all those things and, keep us a little younger, a little longer. But what growth hormone is also great for is muscle sparing. It doesn't promote muscle growth. So it's not one of those things where, am I going to take this and get all bulky? No, that's not what it does. It helps regenerate and reproduce cells in the body, but it does not promote muscle growth. I know that a lot of people get this idea in their head that, oh, that's what those bodybuilders use. But that's not what growth hormone actually, that's not its function. What it is its function to keep you healthy, keep those connective tissues connected, and just keep you all around feeling and looking younger. So again, the almond protein, very clean, very high, good source of vegan protein. Our whey protein is again, it's a protein isolate. It's actually a hydrolyzed isolate, which is the highest form of whey protein that you can get. Of course, whey being a milk protein, so this is sourced from cows. So if you were a vegan, you would avoid the whey. But again, two very high quality options. And the third component that is in both of these is a super greens component. So we realized that, hey, you know what? A lot of people struggle with getting their vegetables, especially the powerful ones. So we went out and we sourced some of the best super greens, and we actually throw some of that in there as well. So you're getting a good serving of greens in your proteins, which is maybe not something that you would normally expect. But again, we like to throw things together that work together and they're synergistic together. So this was a good fit. And again, most people who are using this are really loving the experience of what they're getting from using this, especially with that GH component and just feeling better, and just, you know what, overall getting a younger, healthier feeling from using it.
Aaron,
Yeah.
would you lose the benefit of the keto if you mix the keto and the almond protein together?
I've had that question a few times, and here's the thing. I think that, of course, you're probably, and again, the almond protein is not, by most standards, it's not that high in sugar content, but it definitely has more than the whey. Would you lose the benefit of it? No. Would some of that slip through? Would some of the carbs slip through, before the keto could really kick in? Keto is going to kick in pretty quick, but you might grab a couple of those carbs before it actually, takes effect. But can you use them together? You absolutely can, and you're still going to get great benefit either way.
Okay, the reason I ask is because it says to mix it with milk, and I don't drink any milks or nut milks.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mix well without some kind of fat in there. So I thought that could act as the fat like it does in my coffee.
Sure. And again, I think that what you said about that frother, that's my key to mixing keto and protein. I use that frother to mix everything pretty much.
Awesome.
Over there in the corner of the screen, you can see, you can see bio more than anything, but you can see that little bottle. That is our Limitless product, and that's a nootropic product. Anybody who's not familiar with nootropics, basically what that is it's basically to open up the mind and create better focus, better energy. We do that with several compounds, and let me open that up for you just so you can get a better look at it. So again, rapid CT, what we rapid CT here, I'll just show you real quick. So what we're doing here is we're taking, we're actually throwing CBD and curcumin in this, which some people might think, why would you put CBD in an energy product? Well, here's the thing, CBD actually functions very well with these things. It actually helps it. It's very synergistic with it, and it really has little to no effect. It's not going to slow you down or calm you down. It actually, but it actually plays very well with these other ingredients. But you know, you've got things in here like BDNF, or brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is you can just see there on the screen if you can't read it. Maybe you're on your phone. It's I'll just read it for you. A protein that plays a role in the growth, maturation, and survival of nerve cells. BDNF is active in the parts of the brain associated with critical thinking, learning, and memory. So in short, again, if you were to go look this up, BDNF, on like the NIH's website, it would tell you that BDNF is responsible for, you know, focus. It's helping reconnect nerve cells. So it's the longer you take this product, honestly, the better you will notice what it's doing for you. But I mean, most people notice it right away. The first time is usually the biggest kick for them, but over time, I've actually had people stop taking this after several months, and they can't figure out until they realize that they've stopped taking this what happened, because I just feel I don't feel like myself anymore. And what happened was they were getting more and more dialed in, and then they stopped taking it, and basically it just stopped happening for them. So, but again, you've got some great products in here. Taurine, which is a great amino acid, which is great for exercise. So this can be used as a pre-workout as well, if that's something that you're interested in. And then you've got some energy components like hordenine. You've got a little caffeine in here that's derived from green tea. B6, B12, which everybody knows B12 is an energy vitamin. So a great all-around nootropic product, going to help you with focus, going to help you with energy. And honestly, this is and has been for a very long time our #1 selling product each and every week. And for great reason, because people feel it. And I will tell you that some people who want that kick faster, you got to be careful. I'm just going to give you the warning. Transparency is my thing here. A lot of people like to break this up so they get that kick faster, because again, you want those things to hit quick. So some people will actually break up the capsule, break it open, and drop it into a drink, mix it up so that it kicks in even quicker. They don't have to wait for that vegan capsule to, you know, deteriorate. And I will tell you, it hits a lot quicker when you do that. But here's my disclaimer: it's got curcumin in it. It's got curcumin in it, so it may turn your fingers yellow if you open that capsule up. So just be careful. Any questions on Limitless? Okay. And now we're going to get into the tinctures here, which we can probably move fairly rapidly through unless you have questions. Lean is a thermogenic. Again, its main active is yohimbine. Yohimbine is known to what this does, and what a lot of people, what is a thermogenic exactly? Well, a thermogenic is actually something that just slightly raises the core body temperature, so that your metabolism is raised, you're burning a little hotter, which means you're burning more calories. And again, this yohimbine is encased in rapid CT, so it's going to work very quickly, very effectively. And again, combining this with Limitless is kind of a 1-2 punch that a lot of people love using. I'm going to skip over defense here real quick, talk about sleep. Sleep is again, Fantastic product. It is definitely one of our top sellers. It's usually in the top 3. And again, this is a product that we spent a lot of time with. Not sure why that's not coming up. Okay, well, come back to here then. And again, what we've got here is we've got CBD, we've got CBN, which is a component of hemp that is generally left out of CBD. We've got magnolia bark, delta sleep inducing peptide. So they're again a peptide, GABA, and some citric acid, which people have asked me. So I'm just going to tell you that citric acid derived from citrus fruit. It's not a synthetic, as well as our little flavoring. But what you don't see in here is melatonin. We don't use melatonin for a purpose. First of all, your body produces melatonin on its own. Second thing is melatonin can lead to adverse effects for some people, especially children. Children should not be taking melatonin because it can actually lead to night terrors in children. And a lot of kids do use this product, especially in today's day and age where it's just harder and harder to get them settled down. But a great product here. Most people have a hard time sleeping. Jessica uses this quite often. She uses it nightly. Whereas her brain is running on overdrive when she goes to bed many nights. This literally just knocks her out. And at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, I should say, she wakes up and she feels rested. It actually helps her getting into a great state of rest. And that's exactly what most people want when they actually do go to sleep. So again, generally within our top 3 is product as far as our product line, because again, of how effective it is. And quite honestly, how many people have problems getting to sleep and staying asleep. I'm going to jump to our Vital IQ. Vital IQ is, at its core, it's a multivitamin. It's a micronutrient. It's a great product because, again, you want those nutrients to get into the body. You want them to get into the body quickly. And what we're putting our rapid CT around is, again, those hard to absorb nutrients, those hard to absorb supplements. So you can see there right in the ingredients, the rapid CT is wrapped around, I'm going to skip over the first one, quercetin, which I'll talk about the benefits here of in a second, vitamin B1, D3, vitamin E, and an 18 amino acids. So let's talk about that. But you've also got a whole list of vitamins in there, including alpha GPC, which is great for brain health. But collagen, and then the 18 amino acid blend. So normally you wouldn't see collagen in a multivitamin. But again, we love to create synergy in products. We love to give people more value than just, well, I got to buy my multivitamin, now I got to buy my collagen product. Whereas most people would say, yes, absolutely, we're going to separate them because we're going to make more money. That's not our goal here. Our goal here is to get people healthy and feeling great. Collagen, everybody knows, collagen is great for the skin. It's great for bone health, joint health. So what we do is we actually introduce collagen in the product. And again, this is a bovine collagen. It's a great source of collagen. It's bovine, whether you've read studies on, oh no, you got to use marine collagen, you got to use chicken collagen. Overall, time and time again, time tested, bovine collagen has shown over time to be the best, the most human friendly, works best with our bodies of any collagen source there is. And then, so that's collagen. We're giving the body some collagen, but then we're adding this 18 amino acid blend, which actually triggers your body to start producing its own. So not only are we giving you collagen to support the collagen that you might be needing right now, we're also giving you these amino acids, which help your body start creating collagen production again, because just like what I talked about with the growth hormone, we know that our collagen production slows down as we get older as well. So again, our whole goal is to get the body to do what it was designed to do. We're not trying to introduce a bunch of synthetics into people's bodies to create this false sense of reality. We're trying to get the body to revive itself. That's our goal here. We want to get people healthy, and we want to do it in the most natural way possible. So that's exactly why we do what we do here. We get the body to create its own wherever we can and whenever we can. So great product, and a great multifaceted product, because it's not just a vitamin. We also have this in a kids formula. The kids formula, the difference would be, does not have the collagen, for the simple purpose that kids are growing and their body is rapidly producing all the collagen that they need. Let's jump to the defense here, because I skipped it. And defense is, just as you could imagine, it is an immune health product. It is designed to help your body fight off all those nasties out there in the world that are trying to get to us. And the secret sauce there, why I skipped quercetin in the Vital IQ, is because it's here as well. So you've got this combination of EGCG, quercetin, vitamin D3, and 1,3 beta glucan, which are all very powerful components in keeping that immune system healthy and fighting off all of those outside entities that are trying to get into your body and make you ill. But by encasing the EGCG and the quercetin, as well as the D3 in a rapid CT, again, you're getting those things into the body very quickly. And again, without making a lot of medical claims, I would recommend that you go read up on quercetin and EGCG on like the NIH's website and see what they do. But again, realizing that in their native form, they're not extremely effective because they don't absorb well into the body. Therefore, you don't get the effect that you're looking for unless you're mega dosing it for a long time. But with ours, the great thing is it's absorbed almost instantly. You're getting the effect very rapidly, and you're basically creating that protective barrier almost instantly. But what I will tell you is that quercetin is great at enhancing the effects of EGCG. And one thing that both of these are very effective at is creating a protective barrier that doesn't allow pathogens to enter to get to where they are looking to go. It actually cuts them off and stops them in their tracks. So you can decide right there, based on that research, of what EGCG and quercetin does. It stops pathogens from getting where they're headed. What that could do, as far as from an immune standpoint, if it can't get to where it's going, what it's trying to attack, then what does that mean? It means that you're not going to get, I, again, can't say it for compliance purposes, but you just understand that this is a very powerful product. And it's, the people who have used this, people who use it daily, you know what, I've been using this product since I've been here, and or since its inception, I should say. And I haven't been sick a day. I'm not going to say I haven't had off days, but I haven't been sick a day since I started using this product. And you know what, I'm a pretty healthy guy, I'll give you that, but I got to give a lot of credit to this one. Any questions around the defense that I can answer anyways?
I have a question, not necessarily about the defense, but wow, that's an amazing product. Can you take all of these tinctures together, or most of them? I know the sleep, obviously, you're going to take separately. But like I'm taking in the morning, let's see, I'm taking the Vital IQ, the curcumin, and one other. So I'm taking 3. Is it okay to just put them all in my mouth at the same time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
that's defense. That's the other one.
Yeah, and I usually put it in my coffee in the morning and just take it all together. And that's another thing that I'll add is, whereas some of these things would normally be heat sensitive, or you'd have a concern about, can you introduce it to heat? Again, because of that technology, just like the protective layer for the peptides, it creates a protective layer against heat. So you don't have to worry about that. And that's why, again, we can ship it. I mean, I live in Arizona, so it might sit in the mailbox, which can get up to probably close to 200 degrees in the summer. and I don't have to worry about it not working or not being effective. So another great benefit to our product, to our technology, I should say.
That does remind me though, guys, if you haven't read Jessica's Random Facts, which is in her in the Storm. So if you haven't been invited to the Storm, a Facebook group, ask your sponsor to invite you. If that's me, ask me. And there's a couple of things like the serum should be refrigerated. Although only the AM says it on the bottle, is it not as important for the PM? It's just recommended for efficacy, or is that really important as well?
I would honestly, I would recommend it just for longevity.
Yeah.
Product. I would recommend it for both, though.
And the Vital IQ should be refrigerated as well.
Yes, yes. And again, it can travel, if it spends, hours or, even a few days, but for, if you're not going to use it in 30 days, I would absolutely make sure that it gets refrigerated.
Okay, so I didn't see that until after a couple of weeks. So mine was out a couple of weeks, but I will use it up within 30 days. So I should still be good.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're pretty much getting to the end here. So this will move pretty quickly. I started the conversation today talking about CBD and curcumin. So obviously we have CBD and curcumin. We have CBD in both a broad spectrum and a full spectrum, meaning that the broad spectrum, meaning that we've taken the THC out of it. Some people want THC, some people can't have THC, even in our full spectrum with the THC in there, we're still within the legal range, which should never, and to our knowledge, has never shown up on any kind of a testing. As a matter of fact, with our technology, it would almost be impossible to. And you can see there that our full spectrum products, the biggest difference that you'll notice right offhand is that the full spectrum products are the only tops that you'll ever see with a black topper on that bottle. So you notice everything else has a white top on it. So those full spectrum are identified not only by the label, but by the black squeezer plunger on the top of the bottle.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So, and again, our daily would be a combination of CBD, whether that be broad or full spectrum, and curcumin, because again, those are two very synergistic compounds, both anti-inflammatory compounds. And we just love to throw things together that work together. Now, there are some people who can't use curcumin. So we do have a pure CBD, as well as we do have a pure curcumin for people who just, for one reason or another, don't want to or don't believe in CBD. So we give people options. We've created those options for people. But again, just being full battery of products there, depending on which route you want to go, as well as you can see over here in the corner, a pet product. So we have a pet CBD, which is fantastic. We have an aging fur baby in our home, and he's quite large. We refer to him as the baby horse. He's a mastiff. He's a massive mastiff. He's 170 pounds. He's over 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he's getting creaky, so he has his aches and his pains. And I will tell you that when he uses this, and we give this to him almost every day now, and we've seen a great improvement in just his overall attitude, his well-being, his ease of moving around and getting up and down. Because again, not only 10 years old, which is up there for a dog of his breed, but his weight, and he has a little weight problem. This is something that is absolutely needed for him. And I could go on and on about stories from people about how this has changed their animals' lives. So it's a great product to have in your house if you have a little furry loved one.
He needs a reset.
Yeah, he does need a reset. You're not kidding.
Before you move forward, I've had a question come up a couple of times, and I know the amount of CBD and the CBD daily is proprietary, but can you compare so people can decide value-wise if you compare how much CBD is in the daily versus the pure, would you say it's half as much ballpark or?
Well, the CBDs, the dailies and the pures, both come in regular, extra, and ultra.
Right. So if you compare a regular CBD daily to a regular pure CBD. Just
Yeah.
the-
So you would have you would have the I mean, it's going to be, it's not even noticeable. I mean, again, because of the fact that because of the technology, we get a lot more effect by using a lot less. But essentially, what you're going to get in either of those from a CBD component, and we used to put it on the bottle, a comparative. The regular would have been comparative to 600 milligrams of CBD. The extra would have been comparable to 1200 milligrams of CBD, and the ultra would be comparable to 3600 milligrams of CBD. And that's true on both sides, the pure and the daily. So
Oh, great. Okay. So it's a better value to do the daily than to do a separate pure CBD and curcumin.
absolutely. And again, the only reason we made that is again, for people who use blood thinners, you can't use curcumin.
Gotcha. Oh, great. Good to know.
Yeah, and then for people who just don't like CBD for whatever reason, or people who live in Canada, we can't. Canada can use CBD, but they can't use CBD unless it's made and manufactured and grown in Canada.
Right.
So it can't import CBD. So yeah, we can't ship that up to our friends in the north. But yeah, and I will tell you, and this is a little secret that I mean, I'm not afraid to share with people, even though, I'm on the corporate side. The 3600, if you do the math, the 3600 is the best value, and then you get to find your sweet spot and what works best for you. But from a price model, the ultra is all day long the best value.
Yeah, 6 times as strong. That's amazing for the small price difference.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, something just popped in my mind, and it's going back to the reset, but it's something that came up with Tammy, who I know has jumped off, but she's going to listen to the recording. I recommend taking your keto right after you eat your last meal instead of at bedtime, because when you go to bed, it's when our bodies naturally start to dump toxins.
Mhm.
So let the keto do its job earlier and be done. Plus it'll address whatever carbs you did have with that last meal versus taking it at bedtime. Most of my detox clients, I recommend they take binders when they go to bed, and you have to take that 2 hours away from any food. So if you take your keto at dinner, right after dinner time, then you've, let that clear before you take your binders as well.
Yeah, good point. Absolutely. And then, I will, I might even, and just quickly, I'll skip over the topicals here real quick. We do offer the CBD in a gummy form. We offer also the Vital IQ in a gummy form, as well as the kids. And we're actually probably going to eventually phase out, because I'm not a big fan of, nor are many people, the regular gummies, but we do have an organic gummy as well on both of these products. I highly recommend it, whether from a just a general health standpoint or a flavor standpoint. The organic gummies are far better, and we do this again in a kids, which is great to get kids to eat their vitamins in a gummy. Who wouldn't want that? And the CBD as well. So topicals, you know what? I think that for me, I'm going to tell you that the relief, the roll-ons, the creams, again, you just got options here. Do you want to use a roll-on? A lot of people love the roll-on. I love the roll-on. I know Jessica does as well. The cream, it's more about how you want to apply it. And then the salve, it's a thicker, it's like a wax, so it's going to stay put. It's going to stick around for a lot longer. And you can use salves in a lot of different ways. Bath bomb, CBD bath bomb. I didn't believe in I wasn't sure about CBD bath bombs until I had this grueling backache one day. It sat in the bathtub. Jessica laughed at me because I threw this thing in there, and I will tell you that after sitting in there for 20 minutes, I absolutely believe in the power of a CBD bath bomb. Changed my world that night. And then the day and the night serum. If Jessica's still on, I may defer to her with some of the topicals here, because she can probably speak to it better than I can.
Come on. Oh, the topicals. So it's very interesting. I love the roll-on. I use it on my lower back all the time. The roll-on and the cream are the same as far as it has the menthol in them. So it's just a matter of, do you want to rub it on or do you want to roll it on? I like to roll on just because I don't have to have it all over my hands, because if you itch your eyes, then it's going to burn. The relief, I actually have never used the salve until I saw a good friend of mine on a Zoom rubbing it on her temples and around her nose for sinus and headache relief. So I thought that was interesting. So I started actually doing that. Once again, you got to be careful not to get it in your eyes. And then the lotion, that just does not have the menthol in it. So like my dad uses it on his hands. I don't want to say any medical claims, but he has gout. So he uses it on his hands and his feet. But that's what I would say about the topicals. I love the roll-on. I think it's amazing. What else did you want me to talk about?
The serums.
Yeah.
Oh, the serums. Okay. So I also use the serums. I actually love the day serum. I'm like, I don't want to say addicted, but I love it. I use it every day on my skin. We live in Arizona, so I need that extra here. Sorry, my little dog is barking next to me. And then the night serum actually just came out recently, and it has tea tree in it. So, and it has the vitamin C. So what I found is when I use that at night, it helps with I don't know what happened. But after I had our youngest, I ended up with like adult acne really bad. So I use that night serum, and it helps the tea tree, and the vitamin C really helps my skin. I've just noticed a lot when I don't touch my face, it clears up really fast, but when I touch my face, it obviously takes a little longer. So I use those, but the day serum has been used for many different things, not just your face. I did see some pictures from the lab side. I say that because I don't want to go into any medical claims. Somebody was actually in a motorcycle accident and had a massive bruise down their leg, and they rubbed the day serum on it, and where the day serum was, the bruising went away. So I thought that was impressive. Somebody else used it as to put on after a chemical burn. I use it on kind of like anything that I might feel like I need that healing for. So that's what that's my testimonial for those.
Fantastic. I think we've covered the list.
Yep.
Awesome. And if anybody doesn't know, there's still the promotion where you get a free Limitless with any $99 purchase, a free Limitless and Sleep with a $2.99 or more purchase, or a free Limitless Sleep and Curcumin with a $5.99 purchase. And that can be if you do an upgrade, if that helps you, or just any purchase in the cart.
I will share on that the Keto Hydrate, the reset pack for $129, and then being able to add that Limitless in is huge, because for me, I get very tired the first day, and I need that extra just to get me going. So that Limitless is a huge benefit to the reset. So the fact that we're getting it for free with that, take advantage of that for anybody. And then also I will just share, personal experience with it. When I do the keto hydrate reset, I want to go to bed really early. I don't even want to deal with, anything. Cause like the first day you're just tired, kind of run down, so I take that sleep and just to go to bed early so I can just get through the hours. That's kind of.
Yeah, and honestly, there's many, many benefits to fasting that we haven't even mentioned. One is to let the body rest. So that's natural. When you're fasting, your body goes, oh, good, I get to take a break. Let's go to bed. So go with that flow. Another great benefit of fasting is something called autophagy, which after, I believe it starts at 48 hours, which is a good reason to maybe consider at some point doing a 4-day reset. You're going to get so much autophagy in between, hour 48 and the rest of the 4 days. And what autophagy is your body going and eating up all the dead, dying, and weak cells. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of benefit to that. But yeah, let your body rest. That's why it's good to maybe do it on a weekend for those of you that have a job and Monday through Friday. If that's the case, you might want to start on a Friday night so that if you are tired, you have the weekend. But yeah, that Limitless, I actually switched to organic decaf Nespresso pods that are compostable. After I bought it, I was like, oh no, I can't use all this plastic, but then I found some compostable ones. But anyway, now my caffeine isn't from my coffee, it's from my Limitless and my Lean, which I did leave for a minute while you were going over some of the tinctures. Did you talk about Lean and how that could be added into the reset, or do you have time still, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, that's very simple. Again, I would just, yeah, I talked about lean first of all, but yeah, that can easily just be assimilated into the reset as well, just like Limitless can. And my recommendation would be just throw those two together. When you take it, I would take it in the morning. You can take lean probably twice a day. Wouldn't have any. Again, it's not a stimulant. It's going to help raise your core temperature to help accelerate fat burning. So you can probably take that once in the morning, once in the afternoon if you wanted to.
Even though it's got, what is it, like 80 milligrams of caffeine?
Yeah, but again, if you take, I mean, again, unless you're highly caffeine sensitive,
Yeah.
it's again, I would recommend taking it in the evening.
Right.
Yeah, in the afternoon, you'd be fine. Most
Okay.
people would be fine, I should say.
Yeah, what I've been doing is taking my Limitless first thing in the morning, and then I'll take the Lean either when I'm going to work out or with lunch, which is actually my breakfast, which brings up another point. Intermittent fasting, guys, it is the bomb. I'll talk about that more another time, but incorporate that if you can, it'll help. So if weight loss is your goal, then the Lean is a add-on. It's optional. It's, you're still going to do great without it, but if you really want to get that extra push, consider adding the Lean to your resets.
You got it.
So how much time can we steal from you still, Aaron? Do we have time for more questions?
Yeah, I'm open. It's funny. I'm looking at the clock here. I'm like, wow, an hour and a half. A
Yeah.
fun fact about me: if you meet me in person, you'll be like, he doesn't talk, but when I get in my flow, when I get in my place, my zone, I feel like I just scratched the surface of some of these products. I mean, this is my jam, so I could talk for days about this stuff.
It's all about your passion. That's how I am too. So does anybody have any questions about anything that we've talked about, or any other product questions that have popped up for you? In case you don't know, if you put your cursor on the bottom of the screen, you'll find your mute button, which will say unmute if you're already muted, and then you can ask a question. You can also put one in the chat. So while they're looking for their mute button, give us one more kernel of wisdom.
Again, whether you're just, first of all, kernel of wisdom. Okay.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, no problem. Just understand that, what you're doing here is special, because again, every one of these products has rapid CT in it. This is this is our technology. This is the game changer. And honestly, I feel like, you know, while we're very small, we're very new. I think this is the technology that 10 years from now will be a household name. I believe that this is the biggest shift in supplementation in decades, because again, we've always been fighting the battle of how do you get, you shove these things in your body, but are they actually getting to the body? Well, now we've fixed that problem.
Awesome.
Which is massive. So whether you're looking at this from your own health perspective, hopefully you are, or you're looking at this, you know, by going out and sharing something great with people, which obviously there's going to be a financial benefit for. My thing here is I'm a mission-based person. You know, if we were to talk personalities, I would be in that yellow personality. I'm all about mission. I'm all about, you know, purpose. And I've been looking for this company without ever knowing it. I mean, it didn't exist, but you know, this is what I've been looking for more than 2 decades, because this to me is the answer, which I'm so excited about. And the more people we can touch with this, the more people we can get to feel the difference with this, we are really going to impact some lives. And once that happens, I think it's going to be game over. You know, it's just going to be hold on, because I think it's going to get crazy.
Awesome. Okay, so we have gone way over, so I appreciate all of you guys hanging on, or staying with us rather. And we will be doing, I'm gonna set up a weekly call similar to this, whether Aaron's on or Jessica's on, or you just get me and maybe some other guest speakers. So stay tuned. If you have not opted into my email list, please let me know that you need an opt-in link. That is how I'm going to be communicating with my group. And if you don't know how to contact me, reach out to your sponsor or whoever invited you. And everybody have a fantastic day. Thank you so much, Aaron and Jessica. You guys are great. And let's do it again.
It's been a pleasure. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody. Happy Friday.